Shannon, we're doing see how long Shannon can freeze to the R&B music. Like Kyle just jams to it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to January 20th. January 20th. And yeah, that was me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Totally done now.
We have an echo and we have barking dogs in the
We
background.
have an echo and barking dogs. It's the best day ever.
But Kyle's beard looks immaculate today. Look at that thing.
I know, right? What's going on, Kyle?
I haven't really trimmed it since the Packers went on this win streak. So if they lose today, I might trim it down tomorrow.
It's looking great. It's looking great.
Maybe I'll keep it.
I'm surprised the wife isn't clawing at the door at the moment. Trying to get in there.
It's too early for her.
Oh, okay.
She stays. She's like you said. She'll stay up till 2-3 in the morning.
Yeah,
nice.
And then sleeps till a little later.
Yeah.
I like it.
We might even decide to go snowshoeing in the afternoon, but certainly looks like we're deciding tomorrow as opposed to today. So I was able to come on and do the no particular order show.
Well, at the very least, she's dreaming about that beard right now.
You know she is. Who isn't? Who has seen that and is not? You know. Now I'm afraid to go to sleep because I'll have wild dreams about the beard.
I can't wait to go back to bed.
And then it will just be awkward next time I see him. Welcome everyone.
I'm always awkward, so you're fine.
To Saturday morning in no particular order because that's the way life is. If you are watching, please smash that like button and join it in the chat. Josh, is this live? Sort of. Like we're not gonna make any promises, but you know, we're pseudo live. None of
definitely
us
live.
Okay, we're definitely live, Kyle said.
We are alive.
We are live.
The Packers are still live in the playoffs, as you can tell.
And Packers are still live.
What a time for you.
I know. Is it their game today or tomorrow?
It's tonight. That's why I'm rocking all the gear.
Oh, I thought I would just rock it all weekend. Shit.
Go, Pack, go. I have no horse in any race here.
Thank you, Shannon. That's fine. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's okay. You can.
Because it's the 49ers tonight, right?
Yeah, they play the 49ers.
That'll be the night game tonight.
What a time. That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, they're only 10-point underdogs. They'll manage.
9.5, Kyle. 9.5.
It opened at 9.5. I guess one side I saw was at 10. But yeah, You're right. Opening lines are more important anyway. 9.5.
Yeah. So let's talk. We'll talk divisional round. But before we talk divisional round, first, happy birthday, Randall, aka Ramon's husband. They're probably not watching because I asked them yesterday what they were going to do, and it all involved eating, like breakfast, really big breakfast somewhere. Come home and rest, and a really big dinner. So they might be at breakfast. I forgot where they were going, but it sounded like a heavy dose of meat, a heavy dose of dead animal products going on there. So
love that.
So enjoy.
I only like country ham. Like I don't like other ham, like honey baked ham. Get that out of here. Other
What's
ham,
the difference?
Never heard of it. Country ham, it's like salty.
Oh.
It's really just salty. There's like a little bone in it, like a little circular bone in it. It's so good.
Sweet.
And I like bacon, obviously, but like I'm saying,
obviously,
as far as like breakfast meats go, country ham, bacon. Sometimes I like sausage, sometimes I don't. Kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, sausage. There could be some not so good sausages. So like, yeah, the floor there is not like bacon's just got a safe floor and such a high ceiling. I wanted every time.
Last Sunday we had a brunch at my friend's house, and he made grits with sausage in it, and honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. So here's a little tidbit about me is both my parents, but my father, I think they did grow up really poor. And so I think as like a treat when he was a kid, they did like white rice or grits, but he did sugar on them. And so most people go like with your grits, you do savory, like it's like butter and salt or pepper or whatever, I don't know, or sausage. But we always did sugar on ours, and then even white rice. And like, I don't know another human ever outside of my father and myself that puts sugar on their white rice. But honestly, it's so good. And I just have to imagine it's because he's like, oh, really? Wow.
I don't do it all the time because I eat rice like twice a day at least. But, rice is like my staple food. It's like the one thing that if I have here, I'm okay. But I have, sugar on rice is the bomb.
Reminds me of the Mitch Hedberg joke. Rice is awesome if you're like hungry but want to eat 2,000 of one thing.
Dude, he is such a good comedian. Just his deadpan delivery and him like, and I do appreciate when some comedians laugh at themselves, but the way he would laugh at himself is just too good.
He was like, I remember the first time I heard him, I was in the car radio, and I was like, oh my God, I might have to pull over.
I never once step on an escalator without thinking about Mitch Hedberg. Not a single time in my life. And there's been only one time where I've actually seen like a busted escalator where it was like not even stairs. And I was like at the Denver airport, they like had the track all the way off and this guy's like working on it. And the guy had to be a little bit older than me. And I was like, you know the thing about escalators? They're never broken. They just become stairs. And he was like, what? And I was like, never mind. I gotta go. I gotta catch a flight. I gotta get out of here. Sorry I talked to you.
It's the test to see if people know Mitch Hedberg or not.
It is. The Mitch Hedberg test, as we like to call it.
Get into their Hedberg.
Oh, no. And it begins.
Hey, everybody. I've got a different angle on my camera this morning, so you'll see my double chin. Just in case. I just wanted to make sure that it was aware. Because, like, Kyle looks great. If I had a beard, maybe it'd cover up this thing going on. But Kyle looks incredible, and I'm looking like
he does today. Chin. Do you think it's like the Green Bay Packers glow?
Did you think they were going to win last week? Maybe that's what it is.
Did you think they were going to win last week, Kyle?
I was more confident last week
than you are this week.
Yes, Mitch Hedberg from Metallica. That's James Hetfield.
Close.
Nice try, Josh.
I listened to quite a bit of Metallica this week.
When I lived in Philly, I dated a guy only because he looked like the lead singer from Metallica, and I use the term "date" very loosely. Very loosely.
Yeah. You knew each other.
We knew each other. Yeah. But I think it's the Green Bay Packers glow. I think Kyle has that.
Look
at him. He's smiling. He's smiling right now.
I know, right?
I'm just thinking how they. I guess we'll get to the best thing I saw. I'll just interrupt and go right to it.
I think you should.
Jordan Love tying a Packers franchise record for like leading the offense, and I mean there was a pick six in there too, but the team scored 48 points, which is a franchise playoff record. Tied Aaron Rodgers in 2010, which was a Super Bowl year in the divisional round. This time they beat the Falcons and they scored 48 points. So is that a good omen for this game? I think
it's a great omen.
This playoff run this year? We'll find out.
I think it is, but
you know, people from San Francisco, they have enough. You know, let's get these Wisconsinites with their cheese. You know, let's get them a little bit more. They have ownership of the team. You know.
Yeah, they only have the most championships in NFL history. They
need more.
14.
They need more. Yeah.
That's Don Hudson's number. That would be a nice.
Did you hear Kyle Shanahan's presser?
That's sweet, Josh. To be honest, just that he had a Kirk Hammett.
They were saying, yeah, sure. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I think it's sweet.
ESP is a guitar company, but yeah.
They were saying, I guess they asked him, you know, did you have time to like scout the team? And he goes, oh yeah, I knew who was going to win by halftime. I had plenty of time to scout the Packers. I'm like, oh. Cowboy fans love you now, Shanahan. Love you. But I have to admit,
well, it was 27-0 with like 30 seconds left in the first half. So yeah, I think by that point you're like, yeah, this is.
Yeah, he's like
being tied up.
Pretty much I knew who was going to win at halftime. I had plenty of time to scout him. And I'm like,
how do Cowboy fans just like not know they're going to lose? I just don't get it. Like every year they're like, this is our year. The boys are going all the way, and it's like, fuck, dude, no, they're not. Like, and I have to reckon with this myself. But like the 90s, like the early 90s was a long time ago. You beat the Bills in the early 90s, you know? Like mid 90s you got one. But like that's a long time ago. And I hate to admit it because I was alive. I don't hate to admit it. I like being alive. Yeah, we're all alive. We've all been there, you know? But like, fuck, dude, the boys are not doing it. Get a new team. Just figure it out. Just like be like, you know what? They've hurt me enough. Like at some point when things just are so bad for you, you leave them in the past, you know? Go a little Lion King on it.
Lion King.
It's funny, the 49ers have a longer Super Bowl drought than the Cowboys currently. Because their last win was the 94 season. The Cowboys won in the 95 season. So sorry, San Francisco fans.
Give up on them. Just give up. Everybody give up.
Morning, Jesse.
Hey, Jesse.
Good morning, Jesse Patterson. How are you? Lovely to see you this morning. Josh, it was lovely to see you too, even though you're trolling, but it's still lovely to see you. So, Shannon, what was the best thing you saw this week?
So there's a guy named Dave Bird, aka Lil Dicky, who is a hip hop artist. He has a show called Dave on FX, and it's got 3 seasons. I've watched all 3. It is a lot of things. It is funny, it's dramatic, but it's a little bit cringy at times. You're like, oh God, you know. Just to say, he's had songs throughout all 3 seasons, and some of them like you could find on YouTube or like you just clips of them on the show or whatever. But like they
Can
were
I
just
just
never
say
out.
something quick? I think
Yeah.
cringy is your wheelhouse. Like you think people on the spectrum are mine. I'm thinking cringy is your wheelhouse.
It's
Okay.
really. I don't think it is because I like being scared, but when I'm like I feel uncomfortable, I can deal with it. I guess I can deal with it. I've like lived enough life and been through enough shit that I'm like, oh, I can deal with this, but I don't love it, you know.
Mm.
And I feel like I'm pretty good about like redirecting, like when I'm like in person with someone and like things are getting a little
Cringy.
veering left or pear shaped. I'm like, let's skew positive, you know. That to say, I can still handle, I guess. This to say, all right, hey, everybody chill. All the dogs, jeez. But he finally released his album that he's talked about in the show the whole time, and it dropped yesterday. And the name of the album is Penis.
Penis?
Penis, like penis, but th at the end, which on several levels I love. I love because, I love because I like lisp. Like if I don't know what this is. This might be a kink of mine. Everybody, welcome inside my brain real quick. If someone has a lisp or like a differing ability, like if you're in like a wheelchair or you're missing a limb or something of that ilk, I am like, I don't know what it is. I know this sounds weird. It's again, it might be a kink. Don't shame me, but like something about it, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like there's this girl I dated. I will say loosely dated, like GL,
Okay.
but in high school, and she had like a Minnie Mouse voice, and let me tell you, I could not. But it was like Minnie Mouse with like a Southern accent. It was fucking weird, and I loved it. Like I was like, this girl is not the prettiest girl I've ever hung out with, but could I deal with that voice for the rest of my life? Yes, I could. Regardless, let's go back to the Penis album. Yeah, so I like it on like it's funny, and like his whole like name is like kind of like a Lil Dicky is like kind of like a subversive thing on masculinity and all this other stuff. And I've seen him live, I think twice. But finally, all these songs have been released on an album, and there's music videos for a lot of them. And you know me, I love music videos. So Penis is my top of the week at the moment.
Penis.
And the show is really, really funny. Honestly, there's some things in there that I'm like, you've never seen this before, and he gets these like crazy good cameos. Like the third season, like I mean, he had like a lot of hip hop cameos, like Kodak Black and Ray Sherman and some other people in the first couple of seasons. But then like the third season, like Brad Pitt shows up, Rachel McAdams shows up.
Shut up. That. What did Brad Pitt show up doing?
Honestly, Brad Pitt like showed up to do like the weirdest thing ever, and he like showed up in a cameo for like a split second, and then later in the show, he and Lil Dicky are like held hostage by someone, and it's truly just like Brad Pitt is just he seems like a real bro. He's like, yeah. Man, I'll do something really stupid. This is great. Why would I not? You know.
He was in like this. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember that he goes. It wasn't a commercial. It was like a little clip, and the bartender gives this guy a drink and goes, oh yeah, the guy at the bar bought it for you. And they pan it over and it's Brad Pitt. And he's like, and that's all he did. And it's like, I'm like, oh, Brad Pitt. Yeah. Yeah. The milking scene. Oh, so Josh is a big fan of Lil Dicky too.
Dude, I think about the milking scene at least twice a month.
More than the Roman Empire?
No, it's not. We talked about this. Buffy's What's More with Feeling is my Roman Empire.
Oh yeah.
It must be bunnies.
It must be bunny. Yeah.
Be bunny.
Who needs good?
I think it's bunnies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a theory. I think.
Yeah. Who needs such good eyesight anyway? That's my Roman Empire. I don't know why. It just really hits me in the right place.
I haven't watched it in so long. I'm probably gonna have to watch it.
Is it so loud? Can you guys hear everything that's happening in my house?
No. You hear everything's happening. That's the weirdest thing. Like I until you said that, I didn't hear.
I hear stuff in the background, but our voices are so much louder.
I'm wearing my what is going on? I'm wearing my AirPods and then I'm wearing my headphones over them. This is what I do on a flight, and let me tell you, this is 200 IQ. There's a few things in life that I've actually like. I don't want to say I'm an expert at anything other than making pizza rolls, But the flights, like I used to wear earplugs and then these over them, and it was pretty great. But now I have AirPod Pros, and then I'll put these noise canceling over them, and let me tell you, holy shit, it's like Bravo 6 going dark. Like you can't hear nothing. There was a screaming child on my last flight. No idea. It was incredible.
I don't fly because it's like germs contained in a
Tube.
Yeah, in a tube. Excuse me. But yeah.
Elevating through the air in this tube.
Yeah.
There's lightning, clouds, rain.
Yeah, I'm an Army brat, and we flew
Sunset.
all the time when I was a kid. I didn't care. And then, yeah, of course, I flew the flight when I lived in France. But now the thought of getting on a plane is like, ugh. Plus, you're just like surrounded by people that want to talk to you.
So, my buddy and I were just talking about this. When you do that, like you get on the flight and you do the intentional, like you look at them and you go.
Exactly.
And then what I do I also wear sunglasses on a flight because I'm like, I'm going to maybe sleep or maybe I don't want you to see where I'm looking because that's my safe space. I'm the kid from Big Daddy. Like I like legit, when I have my sunglasses on, I'm like, I feel safer now. But you do the intentional thing. And then what I do is I get out my gum and I offer them a piece. They take it or not, don't really give a shit. And then
you're done. We're done.
I'm done. And I love talking to people. Like I will talk to people.
You do. See?
But on a flight, sometimes I'm like, listen, I'm just going to listen to podcasts or I'm just going to listen to movies or music. Don't look at me. Yeah,
I can't even remember, like the last time I was probably on public transportation was in France, and I almost sit and someone's vomit, and I'm like, I'm never riding public transportation again. I'm never getting on a subway again. No, that's not true. I got on subways when I was in New York. Never mind. Shit. But I had to because I was going from Philly to New York. So, I can't walk that, and you don't want to drive that because where are you going to park when you get in New York? There's nowhere to park. So, but public transportation gives people a reason to think that everyone has something in common, which we all do. I just don't want to share it with you. You know what I mean? Like
you want a private little pod.
I want my Jetsons. Private in common.
You want the Jetsons, like people mover.
The
people tube mover.
Exactly. When is that going to happen? Everything else in the Jetsons coming.
Well, this is America, so our public transit is not great anyway. So if you think you're getting a special little pod to move you about, ain't happening.
No. The best public transportation, probably DC. Like their subway system, probably the best I've ever been on. But still,
I've never been on it, but it seems pretty great.
It is pretty great. Like,
it's funny because national capitals seem to have that. Because in Ottawa, the bus system seems to be way better. At least from I'm from in Sudbury, but even Toronto, it's just way too freaking big. So there's no national capitals because they tend not to be the biggest cities, right? So it is more manageable in the end. Because there's so many civil servants and all the politicians who pass laws on roads go there and they're like, I don't want to have to deal with all this traffic. Let me make rules and make sure this place is the best. Everywhere else, I don't live there.
Right. So I'm trying to. Okay, the best things I've seen like on Instagram is that Russell dancing UPS man. Oh my god. Okay, first of all, it's a thing that he wants you to subscribe to, I guess, his channel or whatever. I don't do that. But you don't have to subscribe to his channel to get like the first 3 minutes of him dancing and lip syncing. He's on spot all the time. And the man can move. Like it's a beautiful thing whenever I feel like maybe I need to see this, and which is usually like every 5 minutes, but still. And so you guys know how much I watch like talking dogs on Instagram. I just now discovered that like I realized that a lot of the talking dogs had the same. They were all called Derek. Like the Shih Tzu's called Derek sometimes. The Frenchie's called Derek sometimes. And I'm like, and it never occurred to me that it was the same guy's voice. And then I'm watching it last night, and I'm like, wait, that's an audio. It's like this guy that does audio for talking dogs, and everyone uses it. Took me last night to figure that out. And I was like, That's why
Well, maybe that's the point. He's so good at it that you didn't.
He
you
is
didn't
so good
make
at
it so that you recognize it right away. It took
Mhm.
time to recognize. That's part of the,
Mhm.
the
He's so
brilliance.
good at it, and I'm like, why is the Shih Tzu called Derek, and why is the French Bulldog called Derek, and why is the Pit Bull called? And it's because it's like I
The
think
same dude.
it's the same dude. I think his name's like Jason Banks or anything, and you can like just download his audio, and that's your dog talking. And I'm like, that's the best thing I've ever heard ever. And there's another guy who is decidedly like, it's a black voice. Like the Derek one isn't. It's like you can't tell. Like Derek is like, he's always trying to fuck someone up or kill his grandma, but it's not. And it's a dog. He's like, but and he's not.
Does it remind you of Missy at all? I mean,
And
he
he's-
was back everywhere.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and he's pretty gay. He's like, what's the happiest place in the world, Derek? And he's like, in the boys' locker room. He's like, they were doing this test, and he's like, no. He goes, look at this picture, and they show the picture of this dog smiling. He goes, I'm in the boys' locker room. Happiest place in the world.
Honestly, maybe not
Oh
wrong.
my god, it was the greatest thing ever.
Hanging out with your bros, it's a good
Yeah.
time.
And then the guy that he was like, the person threw, you throw a dog toy. They have a
Mhm.
dual place. They threw a dog toy up, and he goes, oh no, you fucking didn't. And he runs up and he pushes the base down. He goes, how do you like it when I throw your stuff? I'm like, oh my god, talking dogs are the best. Because I always wonder what my dogs are thinking especially Missy, when I look up and she's just staring at me, and I know in her head she's like, I can think of 20 ways I could kill you right now. If you didn't have treats, it would probably happen. And I'm like, oh.
I mean, they've only got to be thinking about a few things: you, food, or sleep, right? So
No, but what about
Other dogs. They think about
other dogs?
oh yeah. What do you think that's the thing? Sometimes I'm like, the way dogs communicate, I'm like,
I
can you guys not communicate more directly, or
Like,
I don't know.
Nope, gotta communicate by sniffing your butt.
Yeah.
I'll take Missy to the door,
Imagine if humans
to
acted
go
like
out for a
that.
walk, and if Jack doesn't come,
Hilarious.
it's like telepathy. She just like
Yeah.
stares, and he all of a sudden he gets up and he starts running towards the door, and I'm like, do you guys have mental telepathy? Can I
Yeah.
Can I get into that? Can I zoom into that? Because that'd be great.
My
Shannon.
dogs will do something. My dogs will do something cute where, or one of my younger dog will do this. Like in the morning, if
Mhm.
like let's say I'm in the guest bedroom or whatever, and then before he goes outside or eats or anything like that, he'll go to the other door to make sure to get up the older dog.
Oh.
That's
So that's really
awesome.
cute. Yeah, he's like, we don't go outside
Yeah.
without him. We
All
gotta go
of
get him.
Dog left
All or
behind.
none.
Yeah.
All or none, buddy.
Mhm.
All or none. Yesterday, I was telling Shannon, someone got evicted, so they throw all their stuff out, and they had
I was here for that.
this huge teddy bear. Like, it was like life-size teddy bear. And of course, Missy was like, oh, what is this? We went out to the bathroom. Oh, and she was like all over it. She's like, of course, she started barking at it. And then she just like, I'm like, it's bigger than you are, girl.
Yeah.
Get over here. It was like, oh no.
My dog would definitely be scared of it.
Isn't that how dogs respond to something bigger than them? Is to just bark and I'll be louder than you. Haha.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's why you see little dogs are so much louder than
Did
dogs.
you-
Don't have to bark too loud.
She tries
She's like,
to kill
I'm
it.
pretty huge.
Yeah.
Her thing is kill first, ask questions later.
Okay.
Yeah. Dismember,
Yeah, dismember and
disseminate.
We'll
Oh,
talk
right, 'cause
about
you
it.
had the Christmas decoration, right? The reindeer and the Santa Claus that got
Yeah.
brutally defeated by Missy.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the video of that big ass teddy bear that was like for sale or whatever? And there was some guy in Walmart who like was inside of one of them, and so people would walk by and he'd be like slumped over like this, and then he'd like move and
Oh
like
my
people.
friggin' God.
I love.
you
I mean,
like
I
getting
love a good
scared.
scare,
Yeah.
and so it was so good to me. And like that's like I'm like there are very few times where I'm like, oh, I want to go to Walmart, but if I knew a guy was in a big teddy bear costume and scaring people, I would just be like, yeah, I'll take a camping chair and plant myself right here.
Right here.
And I wouldn't
I'm
be
so
out
happy.
of
I'll even buy this chair after. I'm just gonna watch
Yeah.
this for a few hours.
yeah, and I wouldn't even be out of place just sitting,
That's in the chair.
sipping a Dr. Pepper, watching people walk by, get scared by a big teddy bear. I love anything like that.
Drink later for the
Oh,
the Packers could doctor a victory.
oh my God. Are you going to be like insufferable until the game starts? Are you even watching the first game?
How dare you insult him like that?
It's Super Bowl.
I mean, the answer is obviously yes, aren't I? Always in Super Bowl? And the other answer is yeah. I'm actually super looking forward to this Texans Ravens game. So yeah, football today is gonna be awesome.
Honestly, I think that game could be good.
I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think the Texans Ravens game is going to be good. And it's
One thing is, if the Ravens could just control the clock and run the football a ton,
Yeah.
I think it forces Houston to be one-dimensional. Because I think they'll struggle to run the football themselves. So this is all on CJ Stroud's shoulders, which is why I'm going to enjoy it. Because just let's see what he can do against this defense.
But the Ravens secondary is legit. So I mean,
it could be tough. It could be a big blowout. I know that they were also 9.5-point favorites. So
I
take it back what I said about this game being good. I didn't mean it, guys. I know so little about.
Hey, how do you feel about Draymond being back? Isn't he playing now? That's for the Michigan thing. You're welcome.
Because I think, well, the thing is, like right now, I think if I'm an NFL team, CJ Stroud, in terms of if you could if you could build your franchise around, he's got to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks, top 6, and 4 of those top 6 quarterbacks are all playing in the AFC divisional round, so they're all playing each other. So that's the fun part. There is Stroud versus Lamar. I know they've already played once this year, but let's it was the first. That was week 1. Stroud has had a whole rookie season since then. So let's see how much better he's gotten now.
We'll see.
I would still bet on the Ravens.
And to be fair, Lamar's improved over the season too. Better knowledge with that Todd Monken system. So love it.
So Shannon, Draymond Green.
I mean, it didn't matter much. The Grizz took him out this week. That was pretty good. Without, I think we had one starter.
We've lost all our players. We'll make you lose all yours,
dude. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Nicer guy.
I mean, I think that the Grizzlies should pack it in.
Yeah, but you thought that before he got hurt.
You were thinking it was a rebuild season anyway when they were struggling without Jaw. They weren't doing good enough to.
Yeah, just save Jaren's minutes. I mean, whatever.
Get a lottery pick if you can, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting because I think, and again, I don't pay much attention to college sports, but everybody's like, this year's draft is so bad, and I guess they've been saying that for a few years now, and so it's really interesting because I'm like, how do we know? How do we know 2 years ago that this draft's so bad? And people are now like, this draft's going to be so bad, whatever. And yet, and still I think, well, let's just pack it in and see what happens kind of thing. So whatever. I mean, Draymond being back, whatever. The Warriors fucking suck, so that's great. Anytime they lose, it's good. So more losing for those guys. I mean, they got old, and not everybody's LeBron, right? Not everybody's Vince Carter. So it's just you can't last forever, and a lot is on Steph. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting because Bill Simmons has been like, oh, they should trade Draymond to the Lakers, and they should do this and this or whatever to help fix the Warriors, but also Draymond and LeBron could be together and they're bros, I guess, and so it would be really good boon. Yeah.
I would not that.
Yeah, so they had I mean, I think they just had some competitive, beef at some point or whatever, but since then they've really been on each other's shows or whatever. I don't know.
See, on the court, I don't really care because, like I said, basketball season lasts an eternity. But off court, my opinion of Draymond, of course, is clouded by his performance on the court, or his antics on the court. But I would not suspect LeBron would be, yeah, that's my bro.
Well, I think I think for the most part, and I get this, I'm similar, but I think maybe the only way with LeBron other than we both breathe air, but I try to be bros with everybody. I'm pretty chill with everybody,
Yeah, it doesn't seem like LeBron ever really beefs with anyone.
Yeah, I don't
I think he knew he was going to play for so long. There's a chance anyone could be my teammate over the next 30 years. So let's not burn any bridges.
Yeah, right. And so, and it's interesting because I've been told this about myself, which I think is maybe lessened over the years. But for years, when I played sport, when I was playing a lot of ultimate frisbee and traveling, or whatever, people were like, yeah, you love me being on your team. You don't want to play against me though. Playing against me is not the most fun. Playing with me, great time.
You hear that a lot with these agitators or fighters in the NHL, right? Usually these guys are the sweetest teddy bears off the ice. But on the ice, they're bashing each other's skulls in. And man, I don't want to play against that dude. That really physical, annoying, really skilled player that's defensively is going to cause you problems, but can score too. You hate that. But you love that on your team.
Well, the thing to me is that like, or for me, like, and to turn this back to me and be personal about it, is like I like know the rules really well, better than most people out there. I'm pretty smart, very skilled. So it's just like it is irritating to play against me because like, something will happen. I'm like, no, that's not the rules, and then people are like, oh, fuck
You're
you.
that
And I'm
guy.
like, listen,
It's the
I
rules.
am a. It's interesting because like I break some laws, maybe, who knows, who can say, but there's like certain rules, and especially when you're playing a game, like I'm like, let's have the most fair playing field we can possibly have.
The rules are
That
there for a
way,
reason.
yes, that way that we can really truly see who is the best. And so like there's like some things you can bend, and there's some gaminess or whatever, but then I just like knowing there's like a set standard. That way I'm like, because like even like remember when like James Harden was like getting so many foul calls and people were like, oh, this sucks, like he's just at the line all the time. And I'm like, I mean, it's a little bit of gaminess, right? He's like playing a certain style that people like can't help but foul him. And like as much as like he's like hunting for fouls, like it's still regarded as a good thing if you can get to the line a bunch. So it's like a really interesting like
As long as
gray
you're not
area
missing
that
every
people.
free throw.
Yeah, and like it's like so funny. Like there's like a gray area. People are like, oh, he gets to the line. So like they were talking about a player. They're
Makes
like
so
he
many
gets to the
shot
line so much.
attempts. He puts
Yes.
himself in a position to for the other guys to foul him constantly.
And so like, and that's kind of like my frisbee game too. Is like I do things where people like have to foul me, and I still get the throw off, and it's like very funny because they're so irritated. And I'm like, I don't know, man. You fouled me. Sorry. Like if it works out for me, great. If the throw didn't get caught, then it's still coming back to me. And if it's a score, that's an and one, baby.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So
you look up rules on games that you're going to be competitive in? Is that your thing?
do I read the rules and learn them?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like even when I watched a ton of football and I watch, a bunch of basketball now,
Mhm.
I was like, I really should have been a referee. Like I should have like that. If I were to live life over again, I would maybe be a referee. Because like I think every person or a lot of people have that idea that like, oh, if I could live life over again, I would like be a professional athlete because I know how the game's played now and like I would do these things, whatever. And it's just like, come on, bro. Like it's like 30 out of 178,000
Billion.
people that make it to the NBA, and like, whatever in football and all that stuff. Maybe a long snapper, who knows? But yeah, like a referee, I'm like, dude, I'd have been a really, really good referee.
Kyle, you don't have to like go dark when you smoke. We don't care. It's it's okay. You can.
That's
You
fine.
We
I
live in
wanted to see if you knew
Colorado.
what I was doing,
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle.
and you did. So good
But
job.
you were very stealth about it.
I was, and then Gladys revealed it all. Good job.
Wait, so do I have to go dark when I'm doing lines or what?
No.
Because I got another idea, guys.
It depends on what you're doing lines off of. maybe not.
I don't think that matters.
I do have this. I'm gonna have to dump some stuff on it. I did buy this thing at like some show, but it's like a cookie thing.
See, that looks like something
This
you
is-
like roll on or like.
This is exactly what that's for. However, I keep earrings and jewelry on this because I don't even smoke weed. Like I'm
Multi-purpose.
like, I just love cookies. I fucking love cookies. I was at this show and I was like, you know what? Let me support a local artist and buy this dish that I'm never gonna use for its intended purpose. I'm just gonna have it on my desk as another thing to hold shit. If you can see my desk, I guess I'm like a special kind of ADD where like, I just have piles of stuff. Drives my wife crazy. But like all the piles in my head are organized, right? Like it's like,
Right.
oh, this pile's
It's organized to you.
Yeah.
Morning,
And
Terry.
drives her crazy.
Well, I mean,
one
No, go ahead.
comment I wanted to make about the Warriors was like you're talking about how bad they were. I didn't realize how bad they were. They have 2 more wins than the Raptors right now, and the Raptors have just been awful this year. And they've traded away all their players. OG Anunoby's gone. Pascal Siakam's gone. They lost Fred VanVleet in free agency. I can't even say that properly. It upsets me so much. For nothing. They should have traded him last year. But yeah, so Raptors suck, and they're only 2 wins behind the Warriors. They must be awful.
And the Warriors are trying to win games, and the Raptors
They've
are
got like the best shooter in NBA history on the team. Raptors only have Scotty Barnes. That's it. Like that's all.
yeah. Well, now you have another Canadian in RJ Barrett.
That's true. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, Barrett actually.
they're not far from having a lot of Canadians on that team, like almost a whole Canadian starting line.
I mean, that's the appeal, right? Maybe get these Canadian guys to come home.
Mm-hmm,
Cost of living, actually, it's Toronto. Cost of living is just as high as in most American cities, I'd imagine.
Yeah, New York of Canada is what they call it, I think.
I mean, it is the biggest city in Canada, so that comparison would make sense.
I did see a funny meme yesterday that was like, "Yeah, I'm from Canada," and it shows like a little tiny sliver just north of America, where it's like that's where everybody lives, you know. But it's like the rest of the Great White North, nothing.
Yeah, I'm pretty far north than like not like 90% of Canadians in terms of like distance from a border for the States. So, and I'm only like maybe 5 hours from the border. But that's really far. Yeah. Sudbury's decent enough. Yeah, like an hour north would be like crazy.
I don't know where this fits in, but I just thought of it. Well, actually, I just thought of two things at one time.
Like we have any order to anything.
There's no.
In no particular order, right?
This is just us in the locker room hanging out with our bros.
Kelly Kuko,
the happiest place.
Is that how you pronounce her name?
Kuko.
From Kelly Kuko from
8 Simple Rules. Oh yeah, and Big Bang Theory.
No, wait, what? No, from what's the one with Sheldon?
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, like she was from 8 Simple Rules. That's where I knew her first. When I started watching Big Bang Theory, it's like, it's the 8 Simple Rules. Girl.
See, I knew her first from Charmed. She was like on the very last season of Charmed or something.
Didn't even know she was on Charmed.
Yeah,
so, yeah. There you go.
It's when it got really bad. But
sorry, not because of her, but it just writing.
Sometimes they played at the gym, and I cannot take my eyes off of it.
Charmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the first couple of seasons when Daughtery was on was pretty good. I mean, it's kind of like the lightweight Buffy kind of thing going on, but then it just got crazy when Rose McGowan came on.
Kind of viewed the show.
Yeah, Rose McGowan came on. It just kind of went downhill from there. But anyway,
damn, take that, Rose.
Yeah, take that, McGowan.
Jeez.
But she was in I think her trajectory is like awesome. Like she was on Charmed and now she's like producing her own movies, and she's on this movie on Prime called Role Play with her husband is the guy who played Dr. King. I can't pronounce his last name. It's David. He's English, black guy, Obi Wan, something like that. And in the part she's like designing, she's an assassin basically, but he doesn't know it. And she gives him a passport because she goes, I had a plan, and she gives him a passport and he goes, we're Canadian now? And it was like, it was okay if she's an assassin. It's okay if she's killing people, but we have to go to Canada? He was like, jeez. But the most disturbing thing...
didn't expect to find an assassin.
Exactly. The most disturbing thing I saw this week, Lift on Netflix maybe, Kevin Hart cannot be a superhero. He cannot be like, he plays the leader of this ultra great thieving gang, basically. Mm-hmm. And like with romantic interest is the really hot Interpol detective. And I'm like, this is ruining it all for me. Like, if I could take Kevin Hart out of it, it would have been like a really great movie with a really great premise.
I'm not gonna say lie. This just sounds like Ocean's 12. It's really the hell it sounds like. Just
we do love a good thieving movie.
We do love a good, and I love Vincent D'Onofrio. Like I love Vincent D'Onofrio, and he's in it, and he plays like he's like this. It was like a last minute thought character. You know what I mean? Like he's the master of disguise, but he looks the same every time you see him.
That's funny.
But I'm like, oh, you got Vincent D'Onofrio, so it's it gives you legitimacy, I think, right there. And I'm watching it the whole time, and I'm like,
that actually brings you back to Ocean's 11, right? And when Rusty's teaching up Matt Damon, like, make him laugh, but don't be memorable. Like all these contradictory things. And the most important thing, and then Yang calls him in, he's like, "Yo, can you come here? Yeah, sure." And then like Linus is just like, "What do I do?" And then he never answers it. It's hilarious.
He never answers him. Yeah.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was ever planning to say anything. That's part of the joke there too, is that he's just like psyching him up, to giving him. Remember all that. This is the most important thing.
That's what made it so good. Like I think they were all kind of like bros. You know what I mean? I think they all kind of liked each other. And Don Cheadle with a British accent was just like the best thing ever.
My favorite character of those movies. He is so funny. He is so funny.
He is the greatest. He is like deadpan greatest. He's the greatest character in that. Like the rest of them, I like Brad Pitt's character. He would be the second greatest, but that's because it's Brad Pitt.
That he looks so
I
good in
love
those
that
movies.
and I actually did count this one time because I like stats and stuff. I don't like have the numbers anymore, but like someone jokes like he's always eating, and then I went and I counted. I think it's something like literally 2/3 of the scenes in the movie he's either eating or drinking.
So there's actually another stat about that movies that he eats in do better than movies that he doesn't.
I've never seen a movie he doesn't eat it.
That's true. I always think, man, this is him. I don't have to eat today. I'll just eat while I'm on set. And that'll be my job. So he writes it in his contract that like my character has to be eating, or he convinces the directors to constantly make his character eat. And then that way he's like, oh, I don't even have to go home and make supper. I've already eaten at work.
Yeah. Well, the thing I always think about is like, and there's some movies where do it, and like, or some shows and movies that do this, and some that don't, or whatever. But like, and Frank from It's Always Sunny, like this is funny stat. So like a lot of times like in eating scenes, you'll see people and they like take the tiniest bite, and it's because like they're like, well, you do so many takes that you're like, you don't want to keep eating this thing, you know? And then there's Frank from Always Sunny who's just like ravenous, and he's just shoving it in his face. He's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, I'm just eating it all, you know, whatever. And then like, there's some actors where like, they're genuinely just like, yeah. And I wonder about the sound guys, like if the sound guys are a little pissed when they're eating like, you know, chips or something. And there's like, yeah. And they're just like, God damn it, I have to like, get these chip sounds out of here, you know, whatever. Like I just have to turn the chip sound down, but I've got to make sure the you know, whatever. And like I always think about that, like people who are just like eating, like they're like, yeah.
And that's Pitt. Like he's not eating like quiet things. He's always like, it's always like chips, or it's something that noticeable that he's eating. It's not like in the background. It's like, oh, Brad Pitt's eating again. Like
and the one, and it's I don't really, and there's dudes that I'm attracted to. There are dudes that I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, whatever. But something about Brad Pitt, anytime you see him, you're like, oh, if I shave my head, I'll look a little bit like Brad Pitt. It's not true at all. Not even close. And you can have a bag of chips. Oh my God, what am I gonna use? I'm gonna use here. You can have a bag of chips. Sound guy, I apologize for this. And you be like, and like Brad's like this. And he looks so good, and you're like, when you eat a bag of chips, you're like, yeah, like if you guys ever, this won't happen. The God's for you.
Chips at home. Like,
yeah,
he's practicing lines and he's practicing eating quietly.
He's like, how can I eat this where I just look incredibly good? Yeah.
Well, I think he's like a huge stoner too, so.
Yeah, probably so.
He's probably eating a ton of chips.
So he's probably eating a ton of chips in his lifetime.
No,
dude, he's like.
Probably should eat breakfast first. So I'll do that first.
Yeah.
Just for the game.
But,
not that you guys will ever see this, but if you ever see me in a movie theater and eating popcorn, it's terrifying. Like I should be embarrassed, but I'm not. Like the way I'm just shoving it in. I'm like, it's like a race against time. And I don't know why I'm like this.
I will sometimes eat the whole bag before while the trailers are still going.
Yes.
Hey, I made it before the first scene, or 5 minutes into the movie, I'm done.
Yeah. And honestly, it's probably embarrassing for anybody who's around me, because I'm just like, and like it's afterwards, it is just a nightmare. And like there's been times where I like walk by other people's seats, I'm like, what do they do over here? Do they just throw popcorn on the ground? It looks like I've done that now. Like I've perfected the art of just shoving in my face as fast as possible, and I try to pick up the scraps, but it doesn't always happen, and it's just an explosion everywhere.
Does it matter what movie? Like, is it certain genres that you eat more than others? What up, Toronto Dave?
Like I said, I'm usually eating them during the trailers, not the movie itself. So no, that doesn't matter. It's the popcorn. Wow. As soon as it's in your hands and you're smelling it and you're waiting,
it's
to start. It's too good to.
When you
I don't really take
home,
big handfuls at a time, but I'm just like one. I just keep going until it's done.
It never stood a chance.
When you watch a movie at home, do you eat popcorn?
Yeah, I'll just snack on whatever.
Or okay.
Yeah, if I have popcorn at home.
Well, popcorn and soda are kind of like my junk food treat to myself, and so I pretty much only have them at the movie theater. So it's like, but that said, sometimes like I'll go get more and then I won't eat it all, and so I'll bring it home because one, my dogs is like their favorite treat, and then two, I'm like, honestly, I'm gonna eat this later. So sometimes they remove.
What do you eat when you're watching sports? What's your go-to food?
I like pizza, to be honest.
Pizza? So you'll have pizza today at the divisional games?
Either today or tomorrow. I think we got a frozen pizza.
Okay.
So
Shannon? Ooh.
I mean, if I'm going to somebody's house and they have a bunch of snacks, whatever, I'll eat whatever.
No,
I don't really like. There's no like go to like, oh, I'm watching sports. You know what? When I used to watch a lot of sports and I would go out to watch them, there's this place called Young Avenue Deli in Memphis. Shout out. And they had three things that were just unbelievable. Their wings were so good. Like the sauce was like very specific to them. It was like called deli style, so it was like their, whatever, it was their own sauce. And then they had these pimento bacon cheese fries, and their fries are already good, but you add pimento cheese and bacon on there, and then they give you, it's the South, so you had to have a side of ranch. So you're just like, and I'm not a big dipper. Like I like dip a little bit, but then like some people are just like, I'm married to one. I used to date one. They are just dippers, man. They will fuck up a sauce.
This dipping sauce has to be finished by the time I'm done. You have to time it.
They might need an extra one, in fact.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we gotta get more.
Yeah. And then they have these things. I call them cheese dicks, but they're like, imagine a mozzarella stick that's like that big. Like it's big. Like it's this long and it's at least this thick, and it's crunchy. It's unreal. It's like unlike any cheese stick you've ever had in your life, but I call it a cheese dick because it's the size of the average male penis, if not bigger. And it's crunchy. It's like crazy. And like they have a mozzarella and you just stick that, whatever. So those are my three go-tos.
I love eating dicks.
I love eating dicks. yeah, cheese dicks.
Toronto Dave likes white cheddar powder on popcorn.
I do too.
I'm a salt purist, salt and butter purist.
Yeah, I love all sorts of different flavors. Like I want a different, like I'll combine them too. And Toronto Dave might appreciate this one. I love ketchup sauce
on your popcorn.
Yeah, not ketchup itself, but like ketchup flavored powder, essentially.
I don't want to yuck your yum, but that would not be for me.
Yeah, that would not be.
You have all of that for yourself.
But the thing is, I think it's a Canada only thing. Because I know ketchup chips are only in Canada. It's not a thing that's in the States. I believe.
I've had ketchup chips. Not for me.
Ketchup potato chips, like potato chips ketchup flavor.
Yeah.
Yep. But I don't like ketchup.
I love ketchup. But
I'll be honest, it doesn't taste like ketchup.
It doesn't.
It tastes different than ketchup. So they call it ketchup, but it's really just I don't even know what it is, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I love ketchup.
I did see a thing about how the banana flavor Laffy Taffies, people were like, this doesn't taste like banana, but they were based off a different kind of banana that we don't eat. And so they are banana flavored. No, something else. I don't know. Guys, that's the end of the trivia I have on that.
A sweeter barbecue sauce. So you're eating chips.
That's
barbecue sauce is like a ketchup base a lot of times. That's the closest to ketchup that I like.
That's Dave's connecting us. Smart Dave. Thank you.
Whataburger's spicy ketchup ain't bad.
Yeah. I like ketchup, but only on fries and
Sam, I'm French Canadian, so I want gravy on fries, not ketchup.
I think
I've had gravy on fries.
I would rather have poutine than I would ketchup on my fries.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Yeah. Is it City O City or Watercourse does good vegan poutine fries? It's pretty awesome. I
think it's City O City. I want to say I've had them there.
Yeah.
I guess so. The fries themselves are vegan, right? Because they're potatoes, but I guess it's non-dairy cheese.
Yeah, non-dairy cheese, and
I guess
the gravy doesn't have any.
I've had non-dairy ice cream. It's coconut.
All right, gelatin. Good. Gelatin is non-vegan because it's
made of bones.
Yeah, so I accidentally bought NyQuil with gelatin caps. I can't swallow it. I can't swallow them, which is really weird because I have a really great gag reflex. So I thought I had pizza.
Wait, hold on. Let's go back to the gag reflex. You have a good gag reflex, or like you don't gag?
I don't gag.
Why am I fireworking right now? I don't know what's happening, but I like it.
So
I didn't touch it. I have no idea what that was. That was hilarious. It was right at that time too. Gag reflex.
So
I don't gag.
I don't,
fireworks.
So I had a pizza last week. Oh my God, you guys are you're 12-year-olds. You're 12-year-olds. So
yeah, I'm pretty immature. I act like a 12-year-old at the same time as acting like a 75-year-old, so I just complain. I'm a adult.
last week I had pizza when I was watching the game, and I cut open like the NyQuil, so I had to take it. Do not recommend it. That was the most gross thing I've ever tasted in my entire life.
I'm sure that was terrible.
Well, I thought it would kind of like blend in because it's pizza.
Mhm.
It doesn't. It doesn't blend in. I mean, it was so gross. It was so gross.
I take it all back. Hot dogs. I don't know how I forgot about glizzies. I fucking love hot dogs. No ketchup. Give me a little mustard, and that's fine. I can do other stuff. I can do tomato, onions, whatever the fuck. But hot dogs, fuck, they're the best. And I try to limit my intake of hot dogs because, like, I know they're just so terrible for you. But honestly, I don't give a fuck. I will eat hot dogs to the day I die. I don't want it to be my last meal, but like maybe the day before.
Chili dogs are a thing in the States, right?
Yeah.
I love a chili dog. A spicy chili dog with mustard. Yeah. Holy fuck. I mean, just shove it up my ass so it closes. Damn, dude.
I want to taste it. I like
dog.
it to be in my mouth. But yeah.
No, I just want the dopamine that hot dogs give me.
That's fine.
Oh. Yuck. Hot dogs.
I've gone off the rails, not we. I've gone off the rails.
It's all right.
So Chiefs Bills.
Dude,
are the Bills
that's tomorrow.
Up again too?
That's
tomorrow.
It's the Bills. They haven't won. Period. Fuck them.
The Bills are going to beat the Chiefs. The Bills are going to beat the Chiefs.
Give up on the Bills too, everybody.
No, Bills are going to beat the Chiefs. They're going to beat them.
Because this starts at 11:05, I was able to finish the FPC Radio Live this morning and then come directly onto here. And I said this there. I want the Packers and Buccaneers to play next week because I hate the freaking Lions. Obviously, love the Packers. Despise the Lions with a burning passion. I think it'd be cool, like the Texans. They've never won a Super Bowl. If they could make it far, like that'd be cool for their fans. With this, like a rookie quarterback doing it, that'd be insane. It'd be nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love that. I'm here for chaos. And part of my family are Bills fans, so like if I'm gonna root for a second team, it's gonna be Bills, and just because they've never won, I want to see. And like the city of Buffalo has never won a professional championship. The Sabres are probably not doing it, so I would like to see the city of Buffalo win a championship. So
if I'm choosing.
I would like to see Houston.
I would love for it to be Josh Allen and CJ Stroud next week. That would be great. And then again, Tampa Bay Bucks and Packers.
See, I don't want.
I'm pretty sure the 49ers, Lions, Ravens, and Chiefs are all going to win, and I'll be disappointed in all four matches. I'm ready to have my heart broken. It's great.
I would choose Bills over Houston. I don't know what it is. Again, I said this last week. I don't know. Something about Houston. I'm just like something irks me a little bit. And then I would choose the Bills because, like, I mean, if you live in Buffalo, I mean, like, what do you really have? You know, what do you really have going for you? Like one cool festival in the summer.
I mean, the Buffalo lacrosse team is pretty good. I think they've won championships. So I shouldn't say professional sports championships. I think they've won.
I mean, Mississippi State, the only championship they have is like I think a disc golf championship, and I think they finally won maybe they won the World Series of baseball a little while ago, and that was like the first real championship they've ever had. But like if you live in Buffalo, like you live in Buffalo.
Than baseball though, so I'd count that one as the real one.
If you live in Buffalo, I mean, what do you really have going for you? Honestly, that place seems pretty.
Didn't Justin Fields say that about Green Bay?
Yeah.
He's like, we're going into Green Bay.
Oh man, I mean, what? It seems like a really small. It seems like a place I would like to live because I like small towns and cities.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can see why most people would not want to live in Green Bay. To be fair.
Plus,
but if you're a Packers fan, you love it because it's the Pack. That's literally all they have.
That's
that and cheese.
I've got to pull for the Lions because.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like some little connection with like Detroit a little bit, being from Memphis. I don't know. I feel like they're sister cities and they're very far away.
Sorry, I wouldn't imagine that, but that's hilarious.
And like they have a certain fan base, Memphis has a certain fan base. So I'm like, you know what?
The
Let's go live.
Is strong in both, right? Like there's like a Motown for Detroit and the rock scene now, but like hip hop scene, like they're strong.
It was so disturbing to hear Eminem talk last week to introduce the game. Like, I've never heard his speaking voice. I've only heard his rapping voice, which I love. Yeah, and I wasn't watching. I was listening. I don't know why. And then I look up, and it was like Eminem, and I'm like, that's a disturbing speaking voice for Eminem. I did not picture that voice coming out of him. It's like
what's really disturbing about
it doesn't sound the same.
Yeah, what's really disturbing about him is some of the hats he wears. But otherwise, I love him.
Oh, I love him. I love Eminem. But
yeah.
The voice? No. I mean, if he's rapping, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But
We're very pro hat show, clearly.
Clearly. But just his speaking voice, I was like, oh. Because I'm like a really big voice person. Like you were saying, like I literally dated a guy because he had a stutter, and it was like the best thing ever. It was like, he was kind of cute too, but it was the stutter that got me. And I'm like,
what?
I don't know what.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Voice isn't tied to a romantic relationship too. Me too. My wife is an amazing singer. I love her voice.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's a voice thing.
My wife can sing too, and she's very much a Southern belle. Like she sounds Southern as hell, and I love it.
Nice rhyme.
She has a Southern. Your wife has a Southern. I don't think I've ever met your wife. Your wife has a Southern accent.
Oh yeah, and it's thick as hell. It's great. It's great. I love it.
Is it like Louisiana Southern, or is it like Memphis?
It's like,
Tennessee?
She was born in Alabama.
Okay.
And then raised in a suburb outside of Memphis. So like it's just like a Southern accent. I mean, it's just like your typical Southern belle accent. It's pretty great. And it's interesting because like
each other at any point.
Yeah,
what?
Tennessee borders like 8 states or 7 states or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought because it's so like long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny because like when she's like business professional, it doesn't come out as much. But then
when she's just talking or drinking,
it really, and I love it. And it is funny because like if I'm just around the house and like especially if I'm watching something, like I'll kick my accent up or whatever just because I think it's fun. But like if I try to use it in my everyday, like not everybody really understands what I'm saying sometimes, and so I try not to use it too much. But
that's why I don't use my Canadian accent here on the show, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Like if I were to use my
Canadian accent when you teach, do you feel like you have more of an accent when you teach?
No,
or are you just
really? I guess I have a bit of an Anglophone accent when I speak French, so
okay.
That.
All right. Yeah, I'm just saying it's like do you sing at all in your group?
No.
Kyle?
No. Patrick's voice is way too good and Bio's so good at rapping, you don't want my voice to be heard.
Mm-hmm. You don't give it a little hum every once in a while? They don't even put a mic in front of you, do they?
No. I'm moving around too much anyway. I knock the mic over with my guitar, probably. So.
You walk over to the mic and you just give it a good...
I'll just yell, yeah! Ah! That was no.
All right.
Weekend picks.
Weekend picks. Houston and Baltimore. What do you got?
Baltimore, I think they're control of the run game. Both sides. They're so good offensively. I think they're so good defensively against the run. I think it makes Houston one-dimensional. I don't think Stroud can do it all on his
own. Second game, Green Bay and San Fran.
I'm picking
Love.
Are you going to pick Green Bay for sure?
No, I'm picking San Francisco. If you're asking me who I think will win, I think the 49ers, because I don't think the Packers defense has much of an answer to all 4 weapons at the same time. Someone will always be open on every play, whether it's a light box so McCaffrey runs really easily, or Kittle and or Debo get open over the middle. I think if Jair doesn't play, that's when Ayuk has the big game. If Jair plays, I think he can actually neutralize Ayuk, and like from a fantasy perspective, I'd actually avoid Ayuk. But if Jair's out, then I actually want to play Ayuk more than all the others, so that's going to be huge too. But I think it'll be easier to defend them if Alexander can just take Ayuk one-on-one. Maybe they can do some over the middle. If Alexander doesn't play, though, all bets are off, and then that's where I think Ayuk could go off for the
type of game. You're not worried about San Fran secondary?
Oh, sure. I think the Packers offense can keep up, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I just think the 49ers offense is going to be kind of unstoppable today.
Tomorrow's
cheese defense might come out a little bit.
Tomorrow's game, Detroit, Tampa Bay.
Hold on, wait, I got to get my San Francisco pick.
I thought you already did.
I interrupted him.
No. First off, I don't know what's going on my screen while I'm getting explosions and thumbs up. I don't know, everyone. It's happening.
And I love it. I'm here for it.
I was giving Kyle a thumbs up. Because I know nothing. I'm picking San Francisco. There's a guy named Dr. Disrespect. He's my favorite one of my favorite gaming YouTubers that exist. He's a big San Fran guy. For the love of Dr. Disrespect, I'm picking San Francisco.
All right, Tampa Bay and Detroit. Shannon, we know who Kyle's going to pick.
I'm going Detroit because underdogs, baby. I'm going to root for them.
They're favored by 6 points.
Yeah.
perennial underdog. Like, fuck, guys, Jesus. My entire life, they've never won shit. I remember one time I walked into Little Caesars when Barry Sanders was there, and there's a cutout of Barry Sanders. I thought, fucking cool. I was 8.
I'm sorry, I was expecting a little more. But that's the Lions, right? You always expect more, you don't get it. So that's perfect.
Yeah, perennial underdogs. This Dan Campbell, I wouldn't even run through a brick wall. I would get hard and just punch my dick through it for that guy. I'm picking Detroit.
Kyle.
See, I would love nothing more than the Lions lose. I might even like that more than a Packers victory. I just want to see the Lions lose. I am very petty. No one will ever confuse me for not being petty. I think partly it's the Packers thing because Steve Mix, you ever listen to speak on it? He's pretty petty too. So it's the Packers thing. I think part of it.
It's good. This is just applied to sports and not with your marriage.
I mean, I don't know. My wife's way more amazing than I am. I'm just freaking lucky. But yeah. Again, so 30 years before I was born, the Packers had their best season ever, the 1962 Packers season. It was a back-to-back season with Vince Lombardi. You had like a ton of Hall of Famers, the highest points differential they've ever had. They lost one game. It was to the Lions, and that's the reason I just want the Lions to lose forever. They ruined the Packers' perfect season. Also, how they treated Jim Caldwell. I thought,
that's up.
3 out of 4 winning seasons, and then you fire him to replace him with Matt Patricia.
You get Matt Patricia.
Funny enough, never had a winning season when he was with the Lions. Jeez, I wonder why. Yeah, that also really made me like angry. Like, the Lions racist, or are they just really stupid? It's funny how again I think I read this last week. Both can be true, but we can. It's we got it right? But like, how easy it is. I hope no one looks in the face.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
I literally have
just want to think somebody else is logged in and just doing shit.
Yeah, Jeff, are you here, Jeff? Like, what is going on?
I know. Okay.
I've never been hacked before, but I love this.
So I think the Lions are going to win, as much as it pains me to see that. I'm picking all the teams I don't want to see win. So that way I'll be happy either way. It's like either I was right or I get to see what I want.
This is good for your mental health.
Buffalo, KC.
KC.
Ugh. Okay.
They're going to win.
But eventually Buffalo is going to get over the hump. They'll eventually beat Kansas City when it matters.
They did that in the early 90s. They got to some Super Bowls and then lost them all.
And then when they had another chance, potentially in 99, they played the wrong quarterback. The Music City Miracle happened. I guarantee if Doug Flutie plays that game, it's not even close to where a punt return or fake whatever, lateral throw like that. That's not going to matter. They'll be Doug Flutie would have led that offense to enough points. They might have gone to the Super Bowl that year. So the Bills have no one to blame but themselves. Matt Milano injury, though, I think that's huge. With the run defense, I think Isaiah Pacheco, this could be another monster game for him where Mahomes doesn't really have to do much. And, I think the Chiefs will win.
The weather's supposed to be bad?
No, I just think the Bills' run defense is bad.
It is. So
I don't know if they'll have an answer.
Are you picking KC, too?
I'm picking the Chiefs, yep. My goal line guide, I did it for this week, too. And the only matchup where the same team has the better rushing and passing goal line grade is the Chiefs over the Bills. They have the highest passing score as well of any team this week. So, like, when it gets to the red zone, the Chiefs can kind of have their whole offense. I think they'll be able to run well in the red zone. I think they'll be able to pass well in the red zone. I think a lot of their possessions are going to be touchdowns. The Bills have to score every time they're in the red zone touchdown. Any field goal, I think, hurts them because I think this will be one of those Chiefs games where they just explosive offense. I don't even know if it's Mahomes doing much. I think Pacheco might have a monster day.
Do you realize that the first 2 coaches picked for in NFL teams were African-American coaches, head coaches? Mayo?
Yeah, well, I knew that. Yeah, Mayo and Pierce, yeah.
And Pierce, which I'm really happy. Sorry.
That's okay. It sounds like something amazing, though. Do you want to share?
It was. Max Cosby on Instagram. He had knee surgery or something. So there's a picture of him on his hospital bed with just shorts on and his, oh my God.
His like crazy good body.
Well, yeah, you could tell that. Yeah.
Fourth rounder, man. Like, how did every team pass on this dude 3 times? Good job.
I know, right?
We don't usually say that often, but here we go. They made the right pick with Max Crosby. They made the right choice this time with head coach and Pierce. The Raiders finally did something good. Amazing.
Was he that good coming out of, he went to what, Michigan State? No. He went to like a smaller school too.
I just find it hilarious that in the 4th overall, they took Cleveland Farrell, who will be playing today.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think he's playing. I think he's out for the 49ers, and that literally doesn't matter. And then they go and get Max Crosby in the 4th round. If you'd reversed them, it would have made sense, but it also would have seemed like at the time, oh, that's a big reach on Crosby. But he's probably one of the 4 best players in that draft, so it would have been worth it. And then Farrell's an awful bust. But if he went in the 4th round, it wouldn't be so bad. So it's funny how they completely blew their 4th overall pick, but made up for it by getting a true gem in the 4th round.
Max Crosby just has swag. He just has swag. Like,
he's a great player. So yeah, which probably feeds into the confidence. Because you can be swaggy and be awful, and then it just comes
then you're not sexy.
Like arrogance.
That's not sexy. If you're awful and swaggy, that's not sexy. But if you are awesome and swaggy, and you're built like that, yeah.
That's why I go for a very not swaggy, awful aesthetic as a person.
Same here.
Just like, look, if I'm just trash all the time.
The good moments will shine brighter than people.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle. Kyle, you say that now because you have the beard that's like, today. So
that's probably the best part of my body, though. So maybe second best. I have really I used to be a runner, so my legs are really good. Right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. We were talking about your legs.
No,
yeah,
I've got a decent body above the neck and below the belt, but between those, it's not that good.
That third leg, as it were.
I don't know. My legs are pretty huge by comparison. My wife's happy. That's all that matters to me.
I'm working with 12-year-olds. And on that note,
12-year-old with a beard.
12-year-old with a stunning beard and a stunning mustache.
We should definitely be done now.
I think we should.
I don't apologize to anybody.
I'm pretty hungry, so I gotta go eat bread. So thank you. Thanks for inviting me again, Gladys. This is great. I'm sure everyone appreciated this and loved this.
Josh.
He wasn't totally disturbed.
Jesse, Terry, Toronto, Dave, thank you all for joining in the chat. Thank you for being here on this Saturday morning for the craziness that we are. And we will continue always to be. Happy birthday, Randall. I know you're probably eating somewhere, but Tara Time, check it out on Twitter. Check her out on Twitter.
And her new YouTube channel. Tara Time?
And her YouTube. Yeah, it's Tara Time.
Yeah.
Last year when
she's Canadian too.
When Will Levis had that stunning game, she goes, if Will, because he puts butter in his coffee or something really weird. She goes, if Will Levis throws one more touchdown, I will drink coffee I will put butter in my coffee tomorrow. And then next year it was fuck.
I remember that too. No, she's great. Yeah, she just started her own YouTube channel, so I think she's got a video up about potential free agents and stuff. I think there's some more content coming soon. So subscribe. I definitely did. As soon as I found
sign up. Great. I will sign up today.
I loved her with. I think she is still with Dynasty Vipers. She's awesome there. I love Dynasty Vipers.
Yeah.
Matt Donald.
I don't because
another Canadian,
but whatever. Dynasty Dynasty isn't my thing. Shannon.
Hey, you have the second overall pick in our Dynasty League, though. Now the league's rolled over, and you officially have that 102. So
I do?
Yeah, you were the second worst team. I was the only team that was worse than you, so.
Oh, wait, you have the 101?
Yeah, I do.
Who are you picking?
Proud of you guys.
Well, I think I'm going to see just what the trade value is on that. I've got 3 firsts, and I kind of want to go after elite assets. So I have an idea. I think I know what I'm going to do if I stick, but I'm going to see if I can shop the pick first.
Oh, okay.
So if you're interested in trading up for the 101, it is available.
Why would I go up one space?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a specific guy you want.
Kyle.
I figured you would.
Dynasty because it's your league, right?
I'm not holding my hopes on trading down one spot, but I imagine I'm going to try and shop it to either get an elite quarterback or the true top tier of elite wide receivers. I got 3 firsts. I'm going to play around and see what
Wait, so this is all on the league thing now? So I can see where my picks are?
Yeah, everything's been updated. I did that yesterday. Jamie's in the league too, so unfortunately, B League is no longer part of the league. But we got another going for 2.
Dan quit.
Yeah, Dan left the league.
Why? After he wanted me to make all those crazy trades with him, Dick. Dan, if you're listening, get your ass back in there. Buddy.
Who knows? Maybe Jamie will want to make those crazy trades with you now.
Jamie's just crazy. So
I have not played in a league with Jamie. So like when Dan was leaving, my first thought was I'm gonna ask Jamie because I want to play with. Actually, my first thing I did was I asked my co-host Jesse Hall.
I thought you were in the Vampire League.
No.
Oh, you're not?
No. I'm in the Zombie League. Oh, you know what? Never mind. Jamie's in the Zombie
he's in the Zombie League.
I haven't played in a Dynasty League with Jamie.
Okay.
That's a total
that's
different
clarified.
experience. Like the trading, the constant contact. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you're right. No, I've played with Jamie before. He's awesome.
All right.
But I wanted him to be in a Dynasty League with him. So.
All right. I'm glad he's in the Dynasty League. Hi, Jamie. I'm glad you're in the Dynasty League.
Not sure if Jamie's here this morning, but if you are, thanks. And thanks, Josh, for teaching me that you used to have a Kirk Hammett edition guitar. I don't know what the Kirk Hammett specifications are, but typically when you see like a signature model, it's the artist chooses like the specific wood they want for the body and neck. Usually it's two different woods. Sometimes it's the same though.
You said wood twice in one sentence. It's time.
Guitars are made of wood. I mean, some of them are made of glass, I guess, but most of them are made of wood. And I'm a guitarist.
Okay.
I love a good mahogany wood.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
It sustains the sound a lot. Les Pauls are awesome.
Yeah.
They're also really heavy, though.
Most mahogany wood I've had has been very heavy.
All right. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Bye. We will see you next Saturday. Good luck. I hope your teams win. Whoever the teams are, but unless it's Kansas City. Then I don't hope they win. But thank you for joining us. We will see you next time. Kyle, good luck with Green Bay.
Yeah.
Shannon, good luck. Shannon, good luck with your plumber.
Thanks.
Sure.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you, everyone. We will see you next time.